This is a Morris Row lifting book and it contains details about how to lift materials and equipment safely. If what you're planning to lift isn't covered in this book, stop and seek help. Before you start a lifting operation, you must know where you're taking the load, who is receiving it, or where you're landing it. Check there is sufficient space for the load, whether there are designated bites, and if there is space for a walkway alongside. Carry out a radio check with your crane operator and any other slingers helping you with your lift. This is done by saying the crane operator's name, followed by radio check. The use of two-way radios between the crane operator and the slinger is essential during lifting operations. A few simple checks and rules are necessary to ensure good communication throughout. Misunderstood information or failure in communication can result in unplanned movements that can have catastrophic consequences. Handset batteries must be fully charged to last through the whole operation, with spare batteries on hand in case there are any problems. Limit any communication to the job in hand. Use clear, concise instructions and don't use any inappropriate or foul language. It is important to state when you have finished talking on the radio. This can be done in two ways. If you have finished but require a reply, say, over. If you have finished the conversation and require no reply, say, out, and this will confirm a reply is not required. Roger, or copy, are words used that confirm that you understand the message that has been sent to you. For example, start going up in second gear, over, to which the response should be, Roger, out, or copy, out. If a message is not understood or is not clear, then the term say again should be used. This lets the other person know that you need their transmission repeated. Stand by is a term used to pre-warn the crane operator that an instruction is forthcoming and to wait. For example, stand by, stop. Stop, stop, stop is an emergency command. This should be given if an immediate emergency stop of the operation is required. If communication is lost, stop all operations. All loads must be double wrapped unless designated lifting points are used or agreed special exemption is in place. Attach taglines to the load prior to lifting using 12mm rope. Watch out for knots on the line that could catch on things nearby or cause injury to your hand were the line to slip. Remember, the rope is not to be tied around your hand during the lift, as this could crush your hand. Only qualified slingers are to attach chains to the slings and items being lifted. Check that the load is correctly slung before lifting. Check rebar bundles for different bar lengths. Ensure the bars within a rebar bundle are of the same length or of a sufficient length that all the bars are secured by at least 2 slings or chains. Short bars within a bundle held by a single sling or chain have the potential to fall from the load when lifted. When lifting working platforms, check platforms to make sure that there are no loose materials. Check the mode angle of the load. Remember that this affects the SWL of the lifting accessory. Mode angle guidance can be found in the Slinger Handbook. Always carry out a 1 metre test lift to ensure that the load is balanced. Lower and re-sling to level the load if necessary, or seek help if you're having difficulties. When you're happy to start the lift, ensure that the area around you is clear and safe. If someone is helping you guide the load out, ensure you're communicating with them throughout the entire operation. Be aware of overhead or nearby obstructions such as alciperture rigs, scaffold, placing booms, piling rigs and other cranes. During the raise and lower, ensure other people are out of the area and that the lifts aren't over people's heads. When you've landed the load safely, ensure you release the chains and slings, that the load is stable and safe, and that the accessories are clear of the load and nearby or overhead obstructions before lifting the chains away.